balance sheet of Bank Islam. Pergi cari dia punya balance sheet. See, income statement. Dia lihat statement apa ya? Page 13. Okay. Dia punya perak capital berapa? Liabilities and equity ya. Berapa dia dah? Susah tak ada equity dia ni, total liability saja. Tengok dia punya perak capital berapa? Go one more down. Okay. Go down, one more page. Okay. Share capital dia berapa? 2.2 billion only. Ya, 2.2 billion only ya. Plus dia punya reserve, we only have 2.5 billion. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, now go up and see how much assets they have. Up. Aset dia berapa total? 30 billion. Mana datang 30 billion, dia punya perak capital only 2.5 billion. Okay. Okay. Deposit customer dia berapa? 26. Duit siapa dia pakai?
Customer.
So that's all you got to know. You don't have to know so much.
You charge them proximity.
Negara what?
You put me to ISA.
License alone.
License alone.
Yes,
Legal
that's
alone.
essentially what it is. Money lenders are alone. I don't care whether you call us Islamic or not. That's just what it is. You are the money lenders. Clean. Shit, halas. Don't have to talk about anything else. So still Islamic, huh? Can tell the difference or not?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you guys this, okay? Now we can, now I've shown you the numbers, I'm going to tell you how it works at the banking and operation. Siapa kenal Agrobank? Kita semua kenal Agrobank, right? Betul lah. Agrobank is a mix of half-half, correct? Half conventional and half Islamic, correct? Okay. What they do have is that they have an ar-Rahnu product, betul tak? Ada. Okay. But while at the same time, they don't have an Islamic deposit. They only have what we call conventional deposit. So where do you think your ar-Rahnu is coming from to finance that? From the conventional side, still from the riba side. Okay? Now, in typical at the banking punya HQ punya level, you would have a ledger that says so-called Islamic deposit to match your debt, to match your Islamic loan or financing, betul? At the branch level, I'm going to tell you, okay, that is, let's say, in the sense of Agrobank, they don't have a convention, they don't have an Islamic deposit. So, the money is coming from the conventional side. So, what's halal about that money? And this is the best part. My son's college mate came home for the semester break. Now, this bank went to the counter, wants to open up a savings account, and then dia kata, okay, what? Dia tanya, apakah, what's the difference? The counter people said, Abang, you want to open Islamic savings account or do you want to open the normal savings account? And then the abang tanya the counter, what's the difference between the Islamic punya savings account against the conventional account? Tak ada beza bang. Satu kad warna hijau, satu kad warna merah. Standard answer on the counter. So, again, why bother?
We see this country how dinar has developed even from the Wadiah. Wadiah, of course, we know how Wadiah is operated. Is there a possibility of converting the so-called Islamic banking into this Wadiah? Is there a possibility, or we have to kill Islamic banking and open Wadiah?
We have to totally clear.
Okay.
There's no such thing as converting. Doesn't happen. If you ask my opinion, I would say not about killing it totally. Remember the hadith from this day forth, this is your market.
Yes.
From this day forth, we're gonna need to have a separate payment system.
And how fast is the clean?
The what?
How best is to clean without really?
You have to put up a separate system entirely. That means you have to start from zero based, whether you like it or not, which is totally based on dinar, dirham.
Dikatakan bahawa Indonesia ini tidak dihindarkan mata-mata Islamnya pada awal kita.
Betul.
Dan sebenarnya nak mengesahkan penggunaan dinar dirham dalam sistem ini.
Very hard. Okay. That Allah Ta'ala will open up the necessary door and the necessary hearts. Okay? That's the best that I can answer for you for now. Open the necessary hearts and open the necessary doors. Okay? Okay, because in reality, I think the only reason why Negara is tolerating, I even use the word tolerating, what's happening right now is that if you ask a lot of the top government servants, they know there's going to be economic meltdown coming in. If they clamp it down on us not able to convert partial of our assets into gold and silver, they are literally killing us and leading us to the slaughterhouse when the economic meltdown comes in. It's true. Then they will be unjust to all of us. It's already the system is unjust. Claiming us down from converting into real wealth is another form of injustice. Any other question?
I have a question. Who is this one Islamic term called mudharabah?
Mudharabah and musyarakah.
Yeah. Could you explain what that term means?
What it means, okay, now. I think under the al-muwatta, the way you do business is through syirkah or syarikat, partnership. Okay, now. Under this system of doing business, there's only two things that can happen. You either use the model of what we call musyarakah. That means joint venture profit sharing. Or the other one is called mudharabah. Which is basically the principal who provides the capital and appoints a mudharib or his agent to do the business on behalf of the principal, and also based on profit sharing and the difference between this and this is here profit and loss is shared. Here the principal bears the loss, not the mudharib. So whoever is appointing you as a mudharib or the principal or capital provider must be very, very sure of the mudharib punya skill, sets and integrity. Amanah. Okay? That's the two model.
So the model of Prophet Sallallahu with Siti Karja is called the mudharabah, right?
Yes.
Qirad or the qirad.
Oh, this whole thing is called? Yeah, qirad.
When Rasulullah prayed, he is a mudharib, right?
Yes.
Right?
Because he represented a lot of the capital providers of Makkah at that time. Yes.
So, I was informed that Islamic banking is using the mudharabah.
Using the term.
Misusing the term.
I told you it's just a glossary, like saying we are all illiterates.
Yes. So in reality, they're not using.
No, because by right, they have no right to use our capital without telling us on what business they are using, and that is not what's happening.
Yes.
Because under the mudharib, you can actually tell, I don't want to do this business.
Yes. Yes.
You specify as a principal capital provider what you want and you do not want. Right now, you put your money inside Islamic bank. They call you mudharib, but did they call you every time they load out the money?
Yes. 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 No.
No.
But if you put inside Islamic bank, isn't it automatically you say do whatever you want with it?
You signed for it. That's why I said read between the lines.
So you don't have to call us every time.
Yes, but are you happy they got to load up shopping malls that you don't want to be in?
But we already agreed.
Yeah, so that's why I said, you don't want it, why be part of it? Simple. You have a choice, get out of it.
Join the warrior.
Yes.
One of the condition of qirad, mudharabah, you have to begin in the fiqh. The hukum said you must begin with dinar dirham and end up with dinar dirham.
Exactly.
How about the banker, you are using USD dengan it?
Exactly. You enter with dinar and dirham, you exit with dinar and dirham. That is the requirement of qirad.
But I want to ask about this yang commercial banking which have a Islamic counter. How do they do that?
Good question. Okay, the agreement is, okay, this is what's interesting about the shared counter or the shared infrastructure. Okay? About Islamic banking. Well, Bank Islam first started out in 1983-84 after the Gazette Islamic Banking Act. They went totally on their own. Maybank was one of the first conventional bank that actually opened what we call the window of Islamic bank. What does it mean? What it means is basically the bank has its own conventional bank, right? And then they open a small window, they call it Islamic Bank. Tapi lain ni semua conventional, Okay? Okay. I'm going to tell you because I was at the branch when this whole thing started in 1993. It's a real life experience. At the branch, we had to open a ledger book So we have Islamic banking or interest-free banking at that time is called interest-free banking, and then we have the conventional bank. Okay, at that time we didn't have, like I said again, enough conventional, Islamic deposits, so you know where that money is coming from. Then what they did was they created these products called Bai Bithaman BBA, which is to finance houses. So what was under Bai Bithaman is buy and sell house. I buy at 100,000, the bank, which is to finance the house, and I sell it back to you at 250,000. So the difference, instead of calling it interest, they call it profit. So then what happens is that you divide it into how many years you have to pay back. Then what you will have in the books are the buy at what rate and the so-called profit at what rate, and then they knock it off every year and amortize that. So it goes down, right, every year. So you tell me what's the difference between this one dengan you punya hire purchase account. Yang you know what's a hire purchase account, right? For your car financing, right? Okay, you take 60,000 times 5 years, right? At 5%, which interest. Okay, 60,000 times 5% is how much? 2,000, right?
Yes.
Plus for 5 years at 3%, 15%, right? So which 3,000 is 15K, right? So which comes up plus principal plus interest is 75,000. So tell me what's the difference between that and this?
Akad.
No difference. And that's why you no longer have Bai Bithaman in the market anymore. Wait. That's not the end of the story. Then they created another product that is called Islamic overdraft. IOD. Overdraft. Or they call it the fancy name at the at-tamwil.
Oh my God.
The best part is, under at-tamwil, it's supposed to be what we call a revolving credit at the time. Okay? Okay? You know what? The product itself is Islamic. The security under it is FD. Bila tanya kat Islamic Banking Division masa tu, kenapa buat macam tu? Bukan interest based underneath security. No. Syariah Advisory Council Pendekaran kata boleh. Tak larat nak gaduh dalam Islamic Banking Division masa tu. Kita ni pun jahil. I tak kata I pandai. Memang kita ni jahil. Tapi tengok ni, apa beza dia? What's the difference?
Takaful.
Takaful. They are supposed to have two accounts under Takaful. One is supposed to be, and this is Takaful, is supposed to be what they call the contribution account, which is divided into what they call protection and investment. Now, the protection is taken away, orang kata, is to pay out if in case of claims. Okay? To cover you, right? For claims, if anything happens. The question that you should be asking is that, what do they do with your investment portion? Because this is only, usually the split is 20%, 80%. So the question is, what do they do with the investment? Where do they put it?
FD.
You get me? Okay? So, yes, brother.
Ada commodity that I heard that London will be the hub for Islamic. So what is they try to manipulate that?
Want to talk about Sukuk or what?
London cukup menjadi hero, menjadi hub kepada Islamic financial.
Why do you think Qatar, monetary authority, ban all Islamic banking yang macam main bank buat? Because bercampur aduk buku, mix up of books. There's no firewall between, you know, the halal and so-called halal and non-halal. Yes. Alright. Okay, now I want to tell you, you know what's wrong with the Sukuk? Because they still guarantee return. In Islam, there's no such thing as guaranteed return.
Yes.
There's no such thing as guaranteed return. You baca Sukuk tu punya cert, guaranteed return of automatic riba.
Yes.
Betul?
Betul.
No difference.
That's why you say Qatar, right?
Like I say, it's still based on paper money, it's a no difference.
It's not the same, is it?
Yes, exactly.
There's no difference.
There's no difference. The only difference is that the reason why they clamp down on that one, because most of the Sukuk makes use of foreign banks. People like HSBC, JP Morgan that was in the country. So they are essentially telling the foreign bankers to get out without telling them directly in their face. That's just what's happening actually. Most of those who like to do the mix was all foreign banks. I remember reading the article, it was JP Morgan, HSBC, Royal Bank of Scotland, and that was in January. They did the announcements of January 2010, and they had to wind down all operations by December 2010. I don't know what's happening. The latest they have not announced whether they sold all the so-called Islamic asset to the Islamic banks. Okay? Ada apa-apa soalan? Kita dah pukul 1, saya telah bagi last soalan lagi.
Adakah sama bank Islam dengan Quick Finance House?
Okay, Quick Finance House, okay. Ada dua Sharia Advisory Council. I've spoken to them before. I actually had a meeting with them. One is at the Malaysian punya level, and one is their headquarters punya level. They do not follow the Malaysia punya standard. Even though Malaysia punya Sharia Advisory Council says okay, they still go back to the headquarters punya Advisory Council. And I was told that their headquarters is more stricter than our Sharia Advisory Council punya standards. So they still go back to the HQ punya ruling when it comes to Quick Finance House. Okay, I've had a discussion with them before.
They mean that Quick Finance is not Islamic.
How could it be more Islamic? It's still based on paper money. We already know that. There's no such thing as half halal and half haram. I think you already know.
Yes.
Yes? Is there such thing as half halal and half haram?
No.
And then you already know. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. That's it. They are more halal than us.
More halal.
Okay.
Yes.
So thank you very much for being here today. I hope my short session has opened up, a little bit more questions in your mind, and to have a little bit more understanding about why Islamic banking is not what it should be.
Yeah.
And we should be more ready and take charge of our own destiny. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
No. One last question. Am I right in saying that when the Western people like Islamic banking, the only why they like it because it's the same as their banking?
The only what?
Islamic banking. Why they like Islamic banking? Why they like Islamic banking? Is that the same system?
Yes, it is.
Am I correct?
Yes, it is. And the best part of it is orang kata kita tak kena tipu hidup-hidup. You know what I mean by kena tipu hidup-hidup ada? We are being lied to while you're still alive. And that's just what Islamic banking is all about. Pseudo banking. Okay? It's still, there's nothing. And I'm going to tell you, I really hate that it's not because I've had a lot of that experience. Yeah. And you know, kata ini aku orang jual bangsa, orang kata jual bangsa jauh kamu.
Bukan jual, gadai.
Mortgage your future. Okay.